Hey, what is up guys? This is Cobb. Oh my god, my voice is so terrible. And finally, we've got confirmation on a new guaranteed legendary event that's starting very, very soon indeed. It is going to be a festive Deck of Fate event, and this is the champion in question, man. A champion who I haven't actually checked out that much myself just yet, but there he is, Mr. Bells the Reckoner. If you don't know what this guy does, we're just going to take a quick look at each of his skills. He's got like 15 reviews already in-game. All of which are just remarkably positive. Almost feels like a little bit too positive, to be honest. Like 4.9s across the board. What the hell is going on, you know? And he is HP based, which is, I guess, worth bearing in mind. He's going to have that boosted survivability, but he's actually more focused on being a utility / damage dealer. The A1 is a single target hitter with the chance of placing strong decreased defense for a couple of turns. Lovely. Also ignores a bit of the target's defense for each debuff on them. On the A2, it's another single target hitter. Before attacking, steals all buffs from the target. However, will repeat the attack against all enemies if the initial target isn't a leech debuff, which he does bring as well. And so really, this is almost like an attack all enemies, steal all buffs from everything, which is, you know, a lot better than it first appears on the surface, and it is bookable down to a 3-turn cooldown, so pretty nice. And on the A3, it is an attack all enemies on a 3-turn cooldown, 100% chance booked of placing a block, buffs, debuff, and a leech debuff on all enemies for 2 turns. Also fills this champion's turn by 5% for each debuff placed by this skill. So the most common comparison that I'm seeing people make is comparing Bells the Reckoner to Sun Wukong, being like a damage dealer who also brings, you know, block, buffs, debuff on an AoE. It's obviously a very, very nice skill to bring into the Hydra boss, except instead of reviving, like Sun Wukong with that self-revive, he's just an HP-based champ, so it's just super, super tanky and had to keep dead that way instead. Now, the passive might lead you to believe that Bells could be a solid damage dealer, increase the champion's max HP by 5%, stacking up to 50, and crit damage by 5%, stacking up to 50 for each debuff placed by this champion. And so it's like 8 debuffs right away. Just from the A3 across all of the Hydra heads, and so 8 stacks. Not bad. Extra 40% crit damage, just instantly on this passive. But from what I've seen of people playtesting Bells the Reckoner, he's really a secondary damage dealer, and it's more about the utility that he brings in his kit. Yeah, the buff steal and the block buffs, and you know what, the leech is really, really nice as well in Hydra too. So that's it. That's just to say that it's probably fair to say that maybe he's been a little bit overrated by the in-game reviews. Who'd have thought I'd write the in-game reviews and not to be trusted once again, but there you go. So how are we going to be getting our hands on Bells the Reckoner for this festive Deck of Fate? Well, it seems very, very, very likely that getting points for this Deck of Fate. Points are going to be accrued probably by pulling shards, maybe by acquiring champions, that kind of thing. Just because the festive Deck of Fate is starting off as soon as the massive, huge 2x Primal Shard event starts tomorrow as well. And so if you happen to have diamond hands, like I have with my Primal Shards for the longest time now, then ideally you can pull enough Primal Shards to, yeah, get yourself a free Bells the Reckoner as well. Not that he's going to be so massively, massively account changing by any stretch, but if you're still setting up Hydra teams on your account and you happen to have enough Primals to get the Deck of Fate done, then you know what, he's probably going to find a place in one of those teams and could be pretty saucy. That said, to be honest, even if you don't have a crazy amount of Primal Shards just lying around on your account, you probably want to pull all your Primals anyway when that event starts up tomorrow. It's a huge 2x event. It's a 2x chance to pull epics, legendaries, and mythicals from your primals, so it's really just the best possible case scenario for pulling your Primal Shards tomorrow. So whether you're looking to finish the Deck of Fate or not, I'd recommend you just pull them anyway. I know I will be on my free-to-play account. Now, that said, the Deck of Fate event also has an additional caveat where, well, it's kind of obvious if you've been around the block a few times, but just to be clear, the Deck of Fate event, you're going to be flipping Deck of Fate cards to gather up all of the champion fragments to fuse Bells the Reckoner. And what that means is that you kind of gotta finish the Deck of Fate if you're gonna get all of the fragments to actually fuse the guy. Oh god. The amount of times I'm having to pause recording here to cough up a lung is ridiculous, man. But yeah, just bear in mind that you do have to finish the Deck of Fate completely to guaranteedly get Bells the Reckoner, you know? Like, worst case scenario is you collect like 97 fragments and I'm actually able to finish the fusion. Now, a couple of caveats to bear in mind. You do want to pay attention to what the objectives are for the Deck of Fate tomorrow. It might just be pulling shards, pulling primals or sacreds or whatever is just going to give you points for the festive Deck of Fate. Again, the prediction here is going to be primal shards that most people are pulling. But if you are able to also pull prism shards and the objectives are more just about collect champions, similar to like a champion chase style deck of fit, then you will also be able to pull Prism Shards as well. And of course, there's a Prism Shard event active right now. And so potentially, maybe you'll be able to pull the Prism Shards and get deck of fit event points. Most likely though, even if you are just going to farm up the free Prism Shards, which you can do in various events right now for the current summoning pool, most people, the recommendation is going to be save your Prism Shards. Do not pull these at all until the final 20 hours of the event. Why is that? Well, because there's a champion chase coming up in 4 days time, right? And so the Prism Shard event will still be active at that time, and you might as well just get some free points from the champion chase tournament event thing. Another caveat to this as well is going to be if you are able to get all of the Bells the Reckoner fragments and you're ready to fuse the guy, pay attention to when the Deck of Fate event completely ends as well. And you might just want to hold on to the fragments and just say fuse the guy during the champion chase tournament as well. That might be something that you want to do. It's something to consider. I'm not sure if these fragments are going to expire or something. Frankly, being ill is foggying up my brain right now, and I can't think properly. Basically, long story short is if you can hold off on the Bells Fusion until the champion chase and it's going to get you some free points, you might want to go ahead and do that. Just beware of the fragments expiring, if that's a thing, which again, yeah. And just as a final little note before we wrap this one up, at least there's not much to do over Christmas, right? In case you haven't been paying attention to the calendar, tomorrow, of course, I'm going to be pulling all my Primal Shards, which I think is going to be great, so make sure that you stay tuned for that. And then there's going to be an Artifact Enhancement event starting tomorrow as well. I mean, I'm going to be blasting this right away. I'm just going to invest everything I need to do to get this Artifact Enhancement event completely done, and then we don't have to worry about anything fusion related really until like the 27th. I mean, you could start champion training on the 26th. Not completely necessary. Yeah, I think I'm just going to chill out a little bit until the 27th, man. And then during this champ training event, this is where I'm going to be training up all of the fusion components, sending them all up, and finishing the Lady Noelle fusion. So those are my plans over the coming few days. And who knows, man, and who knows, maybe we'll go ahead and have a little cheeky Christmas spend, man, to bolster our Primal Shard collection just a little bit more to make tomorrow's event even more epic, man. Hey, either way, man, I'll see you guys there. That's a happy little update from me. I am still going to be doing my best to hit at least a video a day going up on the channel over the holiday break, and, you know, I'm just stubborn like that, you know, what can I say? I hope you guys will forgive me if I go ahead and put the account takeovers on hold for the time being. Frankly, the queue just gets longer and longer and longer, and that's awesome that so many people want to be involved in the account takeover series. But yeah, those videos are very, very long to record, you know, and frankly, I don't think my throat is up to the challenge, so I'm going to have to go ahead and put those on hold a little bit until after Christmas and after the Christmas break, and just give myself a little bit of time to rest up before getting back into longer videos, man. So apologies in advance for that. Hey, man, if you're going to start up a new raid account this Christmas, man, and treat yourself to an incredible, incredible start, then make sure to use my good old beginner promo link down below at the top of the video description right now, man, to sign up to raid, create a new account, and kickstart your new account, man, with 4 free champions. Chief among which is going to be Karato Fox Hunter, free starter legendary. Dare I say it's just the best beginner promo link going? Maybe I've said that a few times before on this channel, but yeah, there it is. Alright, thanks for watching, guys. Hope you also enjoyed this one, and I'm going to catch all of y'all just a tad bit later, man.